Did it not come? Yeah, it
I like
worked.
that.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Let me put it on the comments now and we can see who's in here before we go any further. Let's say hi to Phoenix, to Dobbies, to David, to Stevie, and hello, everybody. Welcome in. We have my co host, Drew, from Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog. We have Sherry from PWI Spiritual Investigator. I finally got it right
You've
Yeah,
been
because
practicing.
because I
likewise.
wrote it down.
Oh, you kidding?
You have to sometime.
And then we have our special guest, which is Eli. Eli, do you go just by like Eli Family 1983 or
Yeah,
just
that's fine.
Eli?
Call me Eli. Yeah, that's fine with
Okay.
Eli.
Alrighty, so everybody, we have a special guest. He is going to be talking to us just casual, some experiences from what's happened to him, like when he passed, when he came back, or what he saw when he was on the other side, just his personal experiences. So if you have questions for him, feel free to ask. We're kind of like all ears because I watched Eli when he was on with Danny live. My husband was actually watching you, Eli, and I could hear you talking. And then I was like, "What? Who's that? Who's that?" And then so he was holding the phone, and we were both watching you.
Yeah,
And then when Drew had told me that she was trying to
ready.
get you on the channel, I was like, yes, because it was like so interesting. Being that like Sherry and I, since we see spirits and stuff, it's good to know or to talk. Not that it's good that you pass, obviously, but that you have
No,
some experience, on what happens. And everybody that's listening, we understand that it's different for everybody. Okay,
everybody.
so just because it's happened to Eli doesn't mean it's going to happen to you the same way because
Yeah,
it's all about your own
every
beliefs, how you
experience.
were brought up, on what you would experience. So
Yep.
we are going to let Drew, if you want to say a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump to Sherry, and then we'll jump to Eli just to kind of tell a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah. Everybody mostly in the chat knows me already, guys. This is for the people that don't. I'm Drew from Drew's Paranormal Vlog. Drew's Abandoned Paranormal Vlog there. I forgot my own name. Oh!
Here, you want
Also,
my list, Drew?
yes, please. Also, broomsticks and pentagrams. That's my witchy channel, guys. That I'm going to get up and running very shortly to do my witchy school, or our witchy school, actually. So I'll be doing that on my broomsticks and pentagrams channel. This will be for paranormal only in the near future. Yeah, and keep an eye on Ghost Squad Scotland as well, which I'm part of. We do a lot of ghost hunts live over there. Just keep an eye on the channel, guys. That's about it.
Hello, I'm Sherry from PWI Spiritual Investigators, also known as Paranormal World Investigators. Most of you probably do know me like Sis, but to anyone new, hello. I do the paranormal. I like to do chats and just doing anything strange and unknown, guys, and a witch and practicing shaman. So if you like people that are strange or shows that are strange, then I'm the right lady, and so are these ladies, the right ladies for you. And
Okay,
Eli.
Eli.
Yeah. Well, my name's Eli Family. 1983. Call me Eli. Yeah, everybody knows me. Hey, Steven, Stevie. One other thing, think it's up to you, but yeah. Okay, so um, I interview paranormal investigators on my channel, and I
Oh,
took a little break because of personal reasons. Trying to find my inner soul and stuff. Um, after my little pup died, Rocky. I kind of like experienced like you know more of what I was finding on their side. I felt some past, and I'm just trying to heal myself, and then trying to better understand and better questions I can ask the audience whenever it comes down to it, and I can answer as best as I can. So
cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're just like so interested in what happened because, a few people come back and they say they passed, they came back, they saw a bright light, but they don't really go into detail.
Yeah.
You had experienced so much, like even now, things that's going on. And besides me, if I'm that intrigued in that, I know there's thousands of people out there that are going to be just as intrigued to hear your experiences.
Okay. Just let me know when to start, and you guys can stop me and ask me a question. Like if you guys want, because every there's no space and time where you're at. You know what I mean? Like it's just you're just there. You're born there, just like we're born here.
Mhm.
Before I go on about it, like when you die, you die in your spiritual form. You die who
Right.
what you are, what you look like. But when you die, you don't use your hands. It's different for everybody. Don't get me wrong. Don't kick me in my butt. Don't come at me. But you know what I mean? Like so with me, I can see all around me. I don't have to go twist my head and see what's behind me. You're just viewing everything. You're a viewer,
Mhm.
Yeah. A bit of background, Eli, and what actually happened. Were you getting an operation or something and you
No,
died?
what happened is I feel ill like a couple of weeks before. Actually, it was gonna be our anniversary. Actually, no, it was. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. Sorry, my mids are here. Hold on.
That's okay.
I'm just trying to get a bit of background of what actually died.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
because that's important.
no,
Yeah.
we were gonna go out just to go out. Me and my fiance, and hold on a second. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we were gonna go out and everything like week before, and all my family I was living with my mom at the time, my sister, my daughter, my mom, my sister's two little ones, they got sick, so I came back. I started feeling sick, and um, my mom would give me a couple of candies, like I don't know what you call them over there in y'all states, but she'd give me a couple candies. So I'm thinking about it. I got the candies, and all of a sudden, like I started getting sick. I started, like just getting ill with high fevers and everything. And my sister gave me some medicine and everything, and it started working a little bit, but it made my cough a little bit worse. So I told my
Yeah.
fiance, I was like, "Fuck it, we're still gonna go do what we got." Excuse my language. I said, "We're still gonna do what we got to do. We're still gonna go out, have a good time." And it was on April. It was almost for her birthday. So I thought, let's go celebrate on your birthday. And whatever. So
Hey, Chris.
what happened is I started getting sicker and sicker,
Hey,
and all of
Ron.
a sudden, I'm sorry.
I was saying hi to the people coming
Oh,
in. Yeah,
hey
just go ahead.
Ron,
Just
what's up,
ignore me.
dude?
I just keep saying hi to everybody.
Just ignore her.
Hey, Ron, yeah, cool buddy of mine. So anyway, so I gotten sick, and my fiance was just like, she's like, "Why don't you go to the hospital?" And so my sister came in one day. She goes, "You're looking bad. Your lips are getting blue and everything else."
Huh.
So then all of a sudden, like, um, I just got up. I was aching. I was so sore. Like my legs, I couldn't get up, and I was like, "Am I gonna make it to the hallway?" I thought, and so my sister called the ambulance and everything, and then all of a sudden, like she put out a chair, she let me down. I could not breathe. I was just like, I was breathing and everything else. I could not breathe at all. Um, they came, I couldn't even stand, to be honest. They're like, if you fall, I'll get you. I'll get you. Don't worry. We caught a couple of big guys like y'all before. I was like, well, thanks a lot. Come on now. I was like, shit, throw that pizza at me, why don't you? Yeah, shit. So, anyways, we went on ambulance, and the only thing I could think of is like just look at the garage, and I was trying to get my phone so I could text me and say they're like, well, not now. I couldn't breathe. They're trying to get this little thingy, little nose thing on my under my nose.
The
Couldn't breathe.
oxygen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oxygen. So then that didn't work. I was just trying to catch my breath, and I
Yeah.
couldn't. So then they put that little bag right here in your face. Nothing. All of a sudden, I passed out, and like I don't know what happened. They said I fought whenever they went in there. I fought because they were gonna put me on the like on a ventilator.
Yeah.
I kind of panicked. I can't remember that.
Right.
All I know, I was in the black tunnel, and there was all those people. They're like, "Save me, Lord, save me!" I didn't mean that. You couldn't see the people, but you could see who they were. You could see the sins they did. You could see like
Wow.
what they did in life to
And you didn't know any of these people?
No,
You,
they
okay.
were they were kids, they were teenagers, they were their old people. They did some messed up stuff to become in the dark,
Right.
Okay.
to be in the tunnel or fun, whatever it was.
Okay.
So it was just going, like I seen all these different age people, screaming, yelling, I'm sorry, and so then all of a sudden I landed in my hospital room, boom, and I look, I'm on the bed, I freaked out. Man, when you're there, you're like, what the, like, you know what I mean? Like you're just like
Yeah, you're just too busy
viewer.
watching around you.
You were a
You're in a
viewer. You know
daze.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I
So,
was there.
so Eli, when you came back at that time, did you actually come back in your body? Were you
No,
alive again,
I
or
was
you
in
were
the
just
floor.
like astral?
Astro, yes.
Okay.
I
All right.
out of body experience.
Okay.
So I was on the floor. I looked back. I saw myself. After I saw myself, I just focused on myself.
Mm.
Everybody was just putting all these plugs in me and everything, and you know the ventilator and everything else. And so um, I think what was familiar to me, why I came back in the beginning, is because my fiance, used to was calling my phone a lot. Didn't get a response, and I think that was familiar to me in life,
Mm.
and we'll get to that in a minute. So,
Okay.
I was there, like I seen this doctor is a black guy, he was there, and he reminded me, there's a lot of familiar people there, but
Right.
I felt like I knew them, but I didn't know them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember seeing like I was laying there and like the nurses, just throwing me on the ground, like wiping me up, picking me up, throwing me on the bed, just
Yeah.
threw me. It wasn't real, so I'm just saying it was just, I guess
Sure.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
and then I would see like all the workers and everything there go back and forth, and then um, to me, all those people that were in there, I knew what they were like. I knew who they were, what they did in life. There was this one guy, he was a worker there that really caught my attention. He did something. He did something to his daughter or something, or he killed his daughter or something, but they didn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't know.
Right.
So I mean, and they were just vital people that you could see around the corner. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
and God was just showing me what they did. And I'm just like,
Right.
whoa. Even the doctors, to me, I think it was bad and good there where I was at.
Like a kind of waiting room or something, like a waiting corridor or
Yeah,
something,
Sounds
maybe.
like
yeah,
to me that you might have been
yeah,
in purgatory.
for sure,
What
yeah,
did I?
In
Uh-huh.
between both realms. It's in between both, like the
yeah.
good and the bad. It's
And
finding it yourself.
Yeah.
I know some of y'all don't believe in God. You know what I mean? I believe in God.
Yeah.
So I would always see a cross hanging there. But the whole room was padded. It was padded,
Right.
crazy padded. The walls and
Right.
everything.
Uh-huh.
And to me, like I was sitting there, I remember sitting there, and then it changed from one scenario to another, and I was sitting there, and it changed. I forgot about the hospital bed, because when you die, first real quick, before when you die, and you go into that spiritual realm. I don't want to say
Uh-huh.
paranormal, but spiritual realm.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember. Yeah, I remember sitting on a chair, like it was a comfortable chair. It was really comfortable. I remember it was brown. It was, I don't know what it was. I forgot. It was brown. So then I remember this comfortable voice telling me, "Don't move. They're gonna take care of you." And I hear the machines and everything. That was a familiar voice thing too.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I remember sitting there, and I remember the machines do. And I remember I was like, "What's going on?" But it was not my mom. It was not fiance. It was God. He was saying,
Yeah.
"Hey," and he showed me across. It was that comfortable feeling, like where I still think about it to this day. I
Yeah.
still think about it where, man, you know what I mean? Like that
A
feels
pure
good.
love or something. A pure
Yeah,
love feeling.
it's that comfort. It's that comfort
Yeah.
spot. And then he showed. I don't know why he showed me this, but there was this guy. I guess there was a wedding going on. It was from one thing to just remember it was
Hmm.
one to another, one thing to
Jumping from one thing to another.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Right.
That's
And
how
then
I imagine it to be like.
yeah, and then this guy, he was like the golf bag, and he put me in his little golf bag, just like a little film. He put me in there. And we are going to this. I don't know what it was. It was this stadium. Someone getting married, and then I was just like, it felt like it was my sister getting married. I don't know. So then all of a sudden, I'm outside, and there's this big old poster board from like 1920 or 1950s. Old truck. It was a family in there. I remember getting in the truck. There's some things I didn't tell, but I forget. Everything's going through my mind. So you're there. You're there in the truck with the family, and then all of a sudden it goes from there to a Hispanic house. My brother. It felt like my brother invited me there. I didn't even know who these people were, and I seen their sofa. I seen everything. I seen the picture frames. I seen everything. Um, and then like I was smelling all the good food. It was raining that night, and I was just waiting for the food. And so all of a sudden,
Pizza.
yeah,
Sorry,
pizza.
guys.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, pizza. Hey, I miss pizza. Well, I got diabetes to the day when I came back, so um, I gotta watch what I eat now. So,
Oh, good.
so
So
man,
you got diabetes after you came back. You didn't have diabetes before. Okay, because one of the ways to get diabetes is when your body goes through a lot of trauma.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
And so I was in there. I seen it's like you being in your room and you can touch your sofa. It feels like you're aware you're there. That's how I
Right.
felt. I couldn't remember my fiance. I couldn't remember anybody, but they were there. They're there in voice. They were there in images, and everything. So um, this guy, he was tall, man, real tall, and he had all black on, and he brought out a stretcher. It was black, and he just points down like this, like it was me. I
Right.
see the trait and everything. Well, we'll get on about that in a minute. So then that travels to we were on the ground, like a parking lot, and I was this guy. I was supposed to say, hi, hey, how's it going? So we were in the carport, and I was that guy. I thought I was GQ, you know what I mean, like with blue jeans, everything. And to me, this female comes up to me, and she liked me, and I was just like, oh, I was like, come in the truck. But from the distance, you see another guy. You see another guy, and he's just looking like that's my girl. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you getting at? So, um, other than that, we go back to this Adobe house. There's old ladies there, and I remember going in the house, and like I got switched over to um, it felt like a courthouse. I don't know if you guys know. I think I was telling Danny about this, but I remember seeing the clock on the wall, and I remember, like my mom talking. She was like,
Right.
"Oh, we got to get him out of there. That's messed up what they're doing to him." Blah 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 blah, and because I was hanging on these pipes, like that, and they were just with hot water, cold water. I mean, remember, I mean, your mind's just like everywhere. I remember looking back. Remember, you can't turn your head. You have no
Right.
shoulders, no nothing. You
Right.
you just look from behind, and
Uh,
you can see them just laughing. The the, the hate, just in them. They were just laughing. And I'm just like, wow. I was like, I felt like I deserved to be there in a
right.
certain way. Like that was my punishment. I don't know why, but you know. And then I go from there. They throw me in a little cell, and then I get out, and there's two other people in there, one from the 1800s and the one from the 20s, and one was chained up like slave days. They chained them
Uh,
up. So then I got out of there, the floor was just like full of like maggots and smelling like
Right.
shit and everything. And you don't mind me cussing her.
That's what it is.
There's these little evil little things running after me. I don't see them, but
Wow.
I know they're coming.
Right.
They're just like running, and so I go from there, and then I go to a cave, and there's this Indian guy. He's just looking and everything else, and he's just making some food, just like you guys said. I don't know, one of y'all said about food or something, and that tells you to eat. I think that was you, Sherry, right? And I think it was one of you, right, Sherry?
Huh?
Remember when you said? I think one of y'all said that they try to feed you and you didn't want to eat
Oh
or something like
wow.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like something
yeah.
like I remember when I'll tell you in a minute. I've just got to do a candle.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, anyways, um, they told me to eat, and so I said no, and he was really nice. He was this this Indian guy, like Native American. So he showed me a wall. It broke. It was all full of forest. It was beautiful, man. The most beautiful forest you could ever see, you know. And
Yeah.
it was just amazing, And he was just telling me a lot. I can't remember what he said. It was really telepathy. It was more that than the way you talk. He
Yeah.
was just telling me how he lived in his lifetime, I think. And then all I remember looking back through my head, and I remember seeing beautiful water and a boat
Hmm.
and something flying over the sky or something. And then all of a sudden, it can start. It's cold. You see a rock behind him, and he's just laying there, all entire everything, like everything that Native Americans has on.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Wow.
he's just laying there, and this lady runs in. He goes, "You need to eat. You need to eat, or you need to leave." And so I'm
Dang.
like, I was like, "I can't eat. I'm not ready. I'm not doing it." So then I
Mm-hmm.
leave. It's kind of silly, but I see cameras outside this rock formation, and then I end up in this house, and there's a caregiver. I'm on the floor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this other person, and there's another person beside me. I couldn't know who it was, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I mean, it looked like an apartment to me. Like they were trying to take care of me, but I was just like, what? So then I went from there to a farmhouse, and that farmhouse, I remember I was laying there, and I remember seeing these looks like these it's like with four hands, but it was crossed like that. And to me, it sounded felt like a Canada, but it wasn't to
Right.
me. So in the back of me, I had all my food I used to like my snacks, whatever. Sounds silly, but whatever. So then I was later and I was watching these paranormal shows and everything on the channel and everything else. So I was just like, I don't know what the hell. It was kind of scared me because one of these high leaders or whatever, these Republicans or whatever, came in and they said, "Why is he here? What the hell?" So then
Right.
it's just something's just like not really, like the hell.
But you
So
know
Yeah.
then,
what? Even with you going through the scenarios and you not understanding them, that doesn't mean that in the future and as time goes on,
yeah,
it's like a puzzle and you'll start picking up the pieces and
yeah,
go, that's what that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the thing that you're saying about like with the food
My
and
Phoenix.
things like that, obviously people that have like fully
Mm-hmm.
crossed over and gone over, they go into the acceptance of their death. And obviously, as they go into the realms, obviously they get all of their luxuries and things like that. But when you're somebody that's in between death, like in between dying and not dying, it's different because anything that you pick up and you eat or you take, it's like you justifying you're okay to die and to leave everybody else. So
Yeah,
in certain areas, they put things in front of you to test if you're ready to leave or not.
yeah.
if you've got the
Yes.
will to carry on living and you've got the will to carry on being with your family, and that you're going to go against anything that's going to tempt you to stay there, aren't you? So,
Exactly.
but like I've had that experience, but it
I
doesn't
don't
mean
want
that
to go
everybody
there.
else is going to. You know, other people
Yeah.
could have a completely different experience. You know, there's people that have eaten food when they've gone over and come back still, but some of us. I just think that we've all got different characteristics because
Yeah.
of what we are down here.
Yeah.
Like I'm spiritual, I'm a teacher, I'm all of these sort of things.
Yeah.
So maybe that, you know, there's certain structures that we have to like sort of fulfill when we go into that realm, if we ever get
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
visit that, you know. So
Yeah. It's sort of it's sort of like a feeling where it's like ugh, like like it's the smell's just like like it's 10 times worse. Like even, like you're in pain, but it's 10 times worse. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're begging for water, but you can't get.
that happened to me, Sister Drew. That's
Did
why
it happen to you as well?
my camera went off a minute ago. That won't me went off. I got kicked completely off the stream. I had to come all the way back in
There's
to get back
Yeah.
on it.
voices and everything, sorry,
It's
but there's voices and crazy
Yeah,
things. I
well,
don't
I
know
Yeah.
if
can
I'm
hear it. That's
remember
why I
what I
put the
told you in the
camera on that off.
beginning about that
Yeah,
about
Eli, that's the reason Sherry couldn't answer you real quick because I had messaged her, told her to light a protection
Yeah.
candle. I saw Drew getting one too.
yeah.
I got mine right
I
here. So so just so you know what's going on over here. So
this would
Never
happen.
mind.
Yeah, this would happen on the one they're interviewing me. It's like, and their internet was cutting off one, the other one was getting kicked off, couldn't get in. So there's stuff I
Yeah.
want to.
It's not new to us because of our abilities. We get that a lot anyway. But when we
Yeah,
get people that have got
there
activity as well,
there's
it
stuff I
becomes even
want to
more.
say, but it's just like okay, sorry.
But to
But
me,
okay,
that
so
area that you're talking about, Eli, that you
yeah,
went into, sounds like the purgatory side of it. So there is going to be good and bad in there because they're still trying to find themselves. Then some of
that
them are going to be
who's that
screaming out
Pleasant
for wanting
Town?
help because they don't want to go to hell. They want to go to heaven. You've got some that are going to be there because they know they're going to hell.
Yeah,
But what people got to realise is heaven and hell is not the way that it's been spoke of, though. Okay, like what we believe, like hell's a place that you go to and you burn in fire and you do this, you do that. In heaven,
yeah,
you're in light, and that it's hell's not like that. Okay,
yeah,
yes, there are negative energy that influence you, but they influence you
yeah,
to test you, to test
yeah,
if you have got that
yeah,
soul bounding that
mhm.
can bring you back to being a human again and putting things right, or if you're
yeah,
somebody that can't be moved back
yeah.
to this plane. You know what I mean? So
Well, here's what
hell
I'm good.
is another place of it's a place of teaching is what
Yeah.
hell is. It's a place of
Oh yeah.
understanding your sins and
Yeah.
understanding what your soul purpose really is and what it's meant to be. That is what hell is.
Yeah.
You don't go there and you've got tortured sticks coming out of your arms and you've got all these pins. It's not
Oh, I
like that
heard
at all.
about that.
There ain't nice spirits there. There are
Well,
spirits that are going to put you to the test.
to me,
But
to me. Hold on, give me a second.
heaven and hell is your own heaven and hell. It isn't one particular place that somebody's explained to us in the Bible, and that heaven and hell is your own mind and concept. It's what you want it to be.
Mhm.
Like your hell,
Yeah.
like when everyone goes, yeah, but why would you think of hell? But hell is the most horriblest situations you could imagine yourself in, and you're played in that through your sins. You know what I mean?
But
So
Eli, you talk about whatever you feel that you need to talk about and get out there.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
just blurt it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We're not judgmental people. We'll be like,
it's
what
not
the
being,
crap did Eli say?
it's not being judgmental. It's more like I don't want y'all messing up y'all things. You know what I mean? Like the.
No, no.
No,
You're
no,
fine.
no.
Definitely not.
You. This is an open thing, so you say what you need to say.
Okay.
You're in the right place, mate.
Okay. So I went there, and um, I went to this. Oh no, it looked really fancy place, and I remember seeing a black shadow like on top. It was like second story. It was really fancy, and then I went, it was just a vision. The building was. Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go on about that later. Yeah,
Okay.
that place where I
She
went
wanted me to make sure
place.
you saw that, so I pinned
Yeah, I
it up
see
there
that.
again. Okay. Can you
No,
see
no,
the
it's
comments,
judgmental.
Eli? Can you see
Huh?
the comments? You can see the
Yeah, I see the
comments?
comments.
Okay, good. Okay.
I saw the. That's just.
I can see them if
Yeah,
I put the other screen up.
yeah. Um, So I was laying there, and they're saying we found a problem. So then I was just like, what the hell? Like, I mean, there's two doctors. They were looking on the computer, and they're like, oh, it's his mind, it's his brain, part of his frontal lobe or whatever that's causing everything. So I was just like, what? I've never seen knickknacks and everything else. It was just like going inwards like that. And then I've never seen the TV and a little black looking sofa thing. But I seen another nurse in a further area, just cleaning stuff. And I went back there twice, but it was a different scenario. But the second time, I wanted to get out of there. I remember there was a lot of people come to see me, family, but I was like, I'm not ready yet. That means I'm going.
Mhm.
I mean, it felt like a big old ordeal. It felt like a lot of people. So then I was sort of like rescued in a blimp, you know. And so I was there. I was in the blimp. I was like, yes, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. And it was just, I remember it was like a 1950 TV or whatever. Those kind of TVs like really old. So I was there and everything else. So I was on there. It landed, and I was like, yes, I'm home. And I remember my mom. She was all like, oh, now I got to go back to work and blah 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 blah. I was like, well, I'm going then.
You could hear everything they were all saying then.
Yeah, like everybody was against me. Like they didn't want to even be there with me. Like they didn't want to see me. You know.
Oh,
Wow.
But it felt like the evil was just like showing you this.
oh, so they were maybe putting that narrative into
Yeah,
your head.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
So then,
exactly. Wanting
yeah,
him to think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they test you up there when you go
yeah,
to that
they
area,
do.
especially in your
Hmm.
purgatory area. They test you
Yeah.
on how much you want to live and how much you don't want to live. That is
Oh, they
Right.
do. So then I went from there. I landed in some nasty. It was like one of those storage units, where they travel stuff all around the world. They put stuff in
Yeah.
there. And there's a big old security guard, black woman, just, she's like, you ain't going nowhere. Like he was just with the gun. So I don't know how I did it. I got out of there. Felt like I was running, but you can't use your legs. Like I was
Uh,
just running, running, running. It felt like you were like in a treadmill, but like it was a
not
treadmill, but
getting anywhere.
it was going like that. Like, but you were in a little box, little, So and it's sort of like a magnet. It's like you can't say where you want to go. You know what I mean? Like
Right. So you
um
have no control over where you go then.
yeah,
You can't think of like your grandma, for example, and you were took right there. They were pushing their narrative on you.
yeah,
You had no say.
yeah. So
Interesting.
then I ended up on a hospital floor.
Right.
God, they just threw me there. They just threw me there. They're wiping me, and no, I used the bathroom, and so they just left me. They just
We
left me
caught
there.
that.
Well,
We
that
caught
was
that.
that was
The
important,
bathroom.
because because the two people that were making out in the other room, and I was like, "What the fuck are y'all doing? I need to get my ass wiped." I was like, "Where are y'all?" You know what I mean? Like, it felt real. It felt like I was being neglected.
Right,
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean,
Which I'm sure was frustrating.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, I got to get out of here. And my phone kept on ringing and ringing and ringing. And I know who it was, but my mind was not registering.
Right.
My mind was everywhere. So then I ended up in a farm again. My sister got mad because they didn't, my mom got mad because they didn't know where they were, where I was. So then this lady, I was laying there, she goes, do you want a popsicle? I was like, I can't eat because I got a tray, because they put a tray in, so a tray, so they can,
Hmm.
so I got this little thing right here. So
Right.
they put it in so I can eat and be on a ventilator, because before I was sick. Um, so before then, anyways, I'll tell you the story. So then this lady, she goes, she had her and her daughter with their fancy place though, fancy. So they're like, okay. She showed me a throat like this, and she was like, we're gonna build you a new throat because something happened with COVID and it destroyed everything. So
Right.
then I thought, what the fuck, you know what I mean? I thought, and then like I remember they were eating or whatever, and so then I went from there to a room in the back. But I remember, like, I could feel the heat. I was in the middle of nowhere, like it was a country. You could see,
Right.
like, you know how they grow, like they put the seeds down and everything out there. You know, I mean, you can see it. you could see them working out in the field. Um, and the reason why the boss from the hospital had their employees there from the hospital because they want to make extra money, so they worked
Yeah.
there for. So
Right.
so to me, I could feel the heat. I could feel when they threw me on the metal table, just so they could change me. You
So
know,
it's
like
all real to you.
it
And
was real. It hurt.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
hurt. I remember my mom coming in and start screaming, "I want to take him home. You stole him from me." And I was like, I can't go anywhere. You know
Oh.
what I mean? Like it was just weird. You know,
It's like they were playing with your mind to get you to think the worst of your
yeah,
life, the worst
yeah,
of people. You don't want to go back. You don't want to see all that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
Then I
trying
went
to
crazy.
through,
change your mind. That's what they
yeah. Then I
do.
went
It's
through
the
this.
bad
Hmm.
side.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it was just the feeling of being there. Is just like the only thing that I liked about it is like I remember it was uh, the fish snow fishing or what is that? We go fishing in the cold and stuff like that.
Ice
Ice fight.
fishing.
Fishing.
Ice
Okay,
Right.
fishing.
I was there. This guy, he was there, and he made me feel so comfortable. I seen all these other family members I didn't know, and he was just, they're so welcoming. They're like, hey, come on in. Like, let's talk about this, talk about this. I mean, it was so wonderful. He like doesn't tell. I called the police. Oh yeah, yeah. Ron's one of my friends. He's a good friend. Um, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
He actually did that. Okay, so well because my mom didn't would tell my friends where I was and what happened, so he had to find out where I really was because no one didn't know where I was. My mom just even for my fiance, they kept the shit. You know what I mean? That's what pissed me off too. They treated my fiance like shit, even my friends. So he's one of
Yeah.
my good friends, Ron is. So he's cool. Um, but other than this, we'll go back. So we were there, and it changed from that scenario to a hole. It was like it's like a real thin hole was just going underground.
Right.
And so I ended up in 1800s. I felt like it was 1800s,
Wow.
the time
Right.
distance. And these people were digging up dirt to put in the satchel,
Right.
and then they looked at me with dark eyes. They're like,
You think it could have been
"What?"
past lives that you're looking
I
into?
don't know, because they told me you ain't supposed to be
That's a
here, and
good
then
question.
they yeah, and then they told me money. They're like, we'll give you money to go back,
Right.
and then I go back and I ended up I ended up some concentration camp or whatever. It was crazy.
Makes you
Um,
wonder if it's past lives that they've been showing you.
I don't know. I'm still trying to find out because
It very
but
much sounds like it because in
Yeah.
purgatory and stuff in the spirit realm,
yeah,
money and stuff doesn't come into it. Money is
no,
not important up there. It's not needed.
no, it's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not.
So, to me, like, yeah, you can still be in purgatory because they will still show you all of those evils and things that you're wanting, those
Yeah,
things that conflict who you are in your life
yeah,
that you've got now. So
yeah.
they're
I agree.
testing you, but at the same time, it seems that they're giving you life purposes and visions of your life now, but they're giving you visions from lives that you've had as well. It's like they're
Yes,
taking you through your full
yes,
spiritual growth,
yes.
like all the
Well,
people that you've been, the things you've seen, and that, and they can do that there.
yep.
Because if
Well,
money is given in a past life, all
yes,
Yeah,
that's doing is giving you energy to
energy.
pull from
Yeah,
that money. But that's
yeah,
it.
yes. I agree.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I went to there's three more things that I went to other people, and like, they told me I could tell this, but ended up in the hospital. There was another spot where I ended up in the hospital, and this black lady was checking me out. I mean, you could see the floors; they were clean. It was dark. You could see the windows of the rooms. It was huge. Like I was the only person in that room. So she came in, right, and she was checking me out. And in my mind, I go back to I was laying there. I was a different person. I was a truck driver. And I
Right.
remember getting off my truck. I was still in that bed, mind you. And I was getting off the truck, and I go into this dirty bathroom. And then an evil voice said, "If I get you out of hospital, would you do this for me?" And then in my mind, it was like going to kill somebody. You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, "What the?" And all of a sudden, God was all like, "Come here." He was just like sending me to this other place,
Right.
and then I'm somewhere in this um I'm somewhere in this town. You know, it I seen one of my friends. He's an older person. One of my best friends in Austin, and seen him. I seen my aunt that went through the same thing as me. So, but this is before she got sick. Um, I seen my mom. They were like, "Oh my God, you made it out of here. Welcome home." You know, this and that and this. Oh my God, welcome. And I was just like, "What?" And then I see my daughter running around. I couldn't even, say hi or anything. It was a clothing store, but it felt like I was being judged. Like my
Right.
friend was judged. He was all like, he didn't say nothing to me, but I feel like it. I was running everywhere for my daughter so I could see her. So then all of a sudden, I'm back at the hospital bed again,
Right.
and I see my daughter like on the side, those little arms that go up. Um, and I see my daughter on the laptop emailing me. I was like, what the hell? I can see her translucent, you know.
Right.
Wow.
And from there, I was so sad, man. It was really, it was something that I mean, it was sad. It was 10 times sad because I couldn't say hi to her. It
Yeah.
was devastating, and then I didn't have a chance to grieve. To grieve over it, and I just, all these. I was tired of just going from one place to another, um, and then I went to, oh, I went, oh, I went to a dance hall. My hospital room was from a dance hall to a garage to a hospital back and forth.
Oh,
I remember in this garage
Mm.
there was appliances, TVs, you know what I mean? You could see from the distance restaurants and everything else. And I remember this nurse comes up to me, checking me out because they used to clean me. They used to this little damn bag. They used to clean to get all the sickness out.
yeah.
And I remember a big giant dog laying on my leg, and it was really comforting. It was really
Right.
nice. So then I remember getting up, and they were, the T something was telling the broadcaster on the TV making fun of how I breathe because I was on a ventilator.
How
So
long were you in the hospital for?
hmm,
How long were you in hospital for?
it was COVID and double pneumonia. The COVID went away for a little bit, and then they put me on the ventilator for double pneumonia. So,
Right. Wow.
It's
so
amazing that you came off that ventilator, though.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is because it's normally really bad when you get pneumonia.
Oh yeah,
Even getting
oh yeah.
double, that's even worse.
I was
Yeah.
on 15. I was on 15%.
How long
On
was
the
you in
ventilator
hospital?
for a month.
A month.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
But he showed me a lot. I mean, nurses would come and say hi to me, and I remember throwing my braces because it was a dance hall. I would throw it, and I would see old furniture up there and everything. I would just throw it, and the bed was broken down. Nothing worked there, and there was like
Right.
nothing. Like it was nothing, and I remember cord being over my face. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And I
Yeah.
remember seeing a glass thing, and I remember seeing my brother's kids there and everything. And then it went to office. It had me and my daughter's like box with the name on it. And I
Oh,
remember I was laying there like, and I remember seeing a bed. I was seeing myself in the hospital bed. It was a little the little thing in my throat, And I remember it coming off and looked like I had a popsicle stick right here and whatever. So
well.
um,
Sorry.
okay, it's okay.
Potential spam.
Okay, so I remember seeing this nurse from this other girl in the bathroom. Wasn't even paying attention to me. He comes in. He knew the vent came off, and he goes, "Are you okay there?" And I'm like, Don't you see I'm not okay? Like, I mean, come on, you know." And I remember
Yeah.
looking out the window, seeing Austin or whatever. I wasn't even in Austin. I was in I was in a little town in Texas. So I remember, I remember my mom just pacing back and forth and saying, "Oh, when is he gonna wake up? When is he gonna wake up?" And knowing she didn't give a shit, but yeah, okay, whatever. So and so to me, it was. I remember going to a place, it was, I don't know. It felt like it was, I don't know. It felt like I was back in my house, but God was showing me a garage, and it was a tall guy, black guy, and a white little just child going back and forth in the garage, and there was two people watching them on a old computer, and
Yeah.
so I remember saying, "What are y'all doing here?" And they're like, and then God said, "You see those people? They did that. That's why they're there. They
Hmm.
died there in that garage. That's why. That's their pendants."
Wow.
And that girl's like 8 years old. She knew what was right and wrong. I just got to throw that out there. Um,
Oh.
and then she took me outside, and I seen this guy. To me, it felt like he was coming back from his daughter's birthday party. He did something fucked up. I don't remember what he did. Like I mentioned, he did something fucked up. So he goes up to the driveway. He's about to go in the house. He just drops dead on the floor, and he keeps
Wow.
on going back and forth, back and forth. And he was like, "You see him? He would never, um, he would never come home unless I say he's ready, but in
Right.
another form. You know,
Wow.
he's there because he did something that wasn't right. You know, and so I went back in the house. It was dark. I mean, everything was dark but the kitchen. And then this lady with brown hair, remember? And we're having a conversation, and I was like, "Good, I'm back," but I was floating. I was floating in the kitchen, and I was just like, I was tripping. I was like, "What the hell?" And I remember she was all like, "You ain't going home yet," and I was like, "But I'm home." I
Uh-huh.
mean, how can this not be? What's
Hmm.
going on? I mean, it's just a feeling of loneliness, despair, all put together. You know, you had no time to cry. You had no time
Right.
to miss your loved one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you had no time for that. It was all basically just, hey, you're here. You're put in this situation. When you die, you die. And you're dead. You know what I mean? Like, but only God can save you.
So was
Man, I
this
was
over a couple of periods? Was this over a couple of days? This was happening that you were coming
yeah,
in
for
and
a
out,
month. For a
right?
month, it
Come
was
on.
bang, bang,
For a
bang, bang,
full
bang.
month. Wow.
Ki-
So was
It
you
was,
asleep the full month, or was you only
yeah,
asleep for
full
so
month,
many days or so many
full
weeks? You was
month,
like the whole month, so you had a
full month.
month's worth of those
Yeah, because
dreams.
I
Wow.
died twice in hospital. They told me because I signed the whatever to revive me or whatever.
The
Yeah.
waiver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I went
I
there and
think
everything else, and
it's it to me it does sound like the purgatory area.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I
when
Yeah.
you're
told
going through all different things, you're having the good coming out and showing you like
yeah,
your future and your now.
Many
yeah,
past
Then you've got all
lives
the
as
bad
well.
coming, then you've got all
yeah,
the bad coming, and then you've got past life things, which I really do
yeah,
think you're having you reviewing your past lives as well.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
connecting it.
Literally,
But
when
obviously,
they,
if you
yeah.
die and stuff, what you got to remember is you've been so many different energies and souls in life. Okay,
mm,
and when you die, all of those elements come together. So that might be why you're seeing your past lives because they're all playing ready in case you do like
So
completely come
when,
over.
yeah, when they say
Yeah,
your life literally passes by in front of you, they need to
yeah,
say
it
your
does.
lives. Because remember, when you're reincarnated, it doesn't even
yes,
necessarily mean you're reincarnated as a male. You could have
yeah,
been a female in a past life. You could have been an
yeah,
animal in a past life.
yep,
So all of these could, like I say, in time, the pieces could be coming together. Okay, I'm excited. Let's hear more.
okay, okay. So I gotta collect my thoughts. So oh my god, I remember there's this window. It was very bright, and there was this tricycle. It was back in the 20s, I think. And there's this little girl. It was a little girl's bicycle, tricycle there, and you could see the little girl's room and everything. So I don't remember much of that. I remember just leaving and going
I've
somewhere else.
just had a thought. Do you know how you go somewhere and you think deja vu?
Yeah.
Maybe that is what you're going to experience. Those moments are maybe what you're going to experience when you cross over. You know?
Well, well, to be honest, like I was telling you about, I confronted three people in my life, and though and like the truck driver, that was a certain
Right.
person I talked to that
Right.
certain things I can't talk about. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Of
that they
course.
said I can't say on here. I talked to them,
Yeah.
and they're like, no, certain things I can't. I'm not gonna say what they did and what in their past
Yeah.
life. I those things were meant for them. I'm still
Mhm.
waiting for others. One doesn't want to hear it, so
Right.
but they told me I could say, so I went from there. From there, I went to I was being I was being like put in a lot of stuff. Like I feel like calculations, like I feel like it was just stuff coming in my body. And then I
Right.
remember being thrown on the shelf, put on the shelf. I feel like a doll, basically,
Right.
And so I remember seeing my whole family. They're all celebrating. They're like, "It's okay, you'll be okay. You'll be out here in no time." And I remember there was always someone beside me, always.
Right.
And um, but I could just see a fan. I could see the TV set. I remember it was New Year's because it was just like snow was falling and everything else, and you could see like the top and everything of the glass. I remember seeing everybody there. Visually the people that are. I want to say that something's gonna happen in their life.
Right.
That's not right.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I felt that. Um, Came back as a knowing, like I know stuff. So
Right.
um, so then anyway, so I went there. I was freaked out because I'm just like, what did they put in my body? And to me, it was my mom doing it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so I went from there to I went there from to a hospital bay. You know, I was like this. My trash was like this. It was a trash can. I was leaning back like this. I felt the water coming in at me, and
Right.
I remember my mom, my brother, my mom, my sister were arguing with the doctors because they wanted to put my trade in, but they told me it was too soon. I was hearing the whole thing. I remember what they were wearing. I remember the cap my brother's wearing. I remember the shirt, the jeans, everything. And
Wow.
so I guess they did it after. I guess so. Oh, then I was floating. That's it, man. I was going to their side. You know what I mean? Like, and then God, goes, not yet. Let's go. Boom. Ended up, and
Wow.
here's the weirdest thing. Okay, when you talk to spirits, right, on a spirit box, right? And I remember just laying there in water. They're like, nope, it's not time yet.
What
And I
do you
had
hear,
my phone.
Chris?
It was gold. The phone was gold. It wasn't gold. But anyway, it was gold. All these antennas out, and people were trying to contact me. It was Lady Jax. She's my co-host,
Right.
But she was trying to contact me, and I remember it was weird, like waves of radio. It was weird and scary, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's these people just like, oh, like you know what I mean, like all together, like it was just, all together, just there with me and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And they were just like everywhere. My computer's like, the hell? Just like my laptop. Okay, so there was just like this wavelength, and I think it was it was not. I don't think it was letting me try to communicate, you know. But so my fiance, she had, she had, she was, she had told me this when I was passed over the day before I was going to wake up.
Yeah.
She had seen me. I wasn't living with her yet, so she was right there in the living room. She was right there in her room, and she was watching TV, and she see me peek around the corner. You know what I mean? Like real quick. You know
Right.
what I mean? And she would, I would talk to her when she was laying down as well, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, hey, what's up, Christina?
Yeah.
So then
That's
I'm,
how Uncle Danny's not here. He was live. Sorry, Uncle Danny. I thought you knew we were talking to Eli.
oh
No.
no, I went over to say hi to him earlier.
Yeah.
Uh, um, so then I went from there to, it felt like it was really a hospital, but it was like a postal office. The smell to
Right.
it, you know. And there was this whole room full of people talking. My mom was there, my sister was there, another person that was the owner was there. So then the police came. They tried to hide everything. I don't know what they were doing wrong,
Hmm.
but they tried to hide everything. They had masks on me and
Wow.
everything, and like they were trying to hide shit. That and my mom was like, "I didn't know he was there. What the hell?" And
Oh
so
God.
called and everything else, and my bed broke down right there, and I was like, "What the hell?" You know what I mean? Like, and um, it was just, I mean, I remember talking to God, and I was telling him I was ready to go, and I knew it was him. I seen his. It was a sandal, but it was old time sandal, you
Right.
know. And I seen his whole foot and everything, and it feels like he was leaving me because I wanted to come home. I wanted to go with him
Right.
because I heard tribal music plus the horns. It was so beautiful, man. Right there, you know, you could feel the love, like more than the person you love, you could feel the more of it. You know what I mean? Like, and I was not ready to go yet, you
Mm.
know, and he was all like, "You ready to go home?" And I was just like, "Yes." But before then, let me get back to the other one. I'm trying to cover everything, you know. There was so
It's
much, you
okay,
know.
Eli. You're still placing it all together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you're
that's good.
doing.
So I have a question for you. When you first felt your God's presence with you, was it just something you felt that you knew, or was it
I knew,
a
I
feeling, a
knew.
smell, or?
It was more like a knowing, like I could feel him, like I could feel the love, like I could feel. I know it was him. I knew, like I wanted to go with him, you know. And thank you for everybody. I know you guys ain't Christian. Some of y'all have your own beliefs. So I'm sorry if I'm, talking about,
No, you
but
talk. No, this is your story to
okay,
tell. So,
okay. So I was there, and like, and God was all like showing my mom in a big cloud. He was like a cloud here, and he was supposed to talk to I guess my brother-in-law, my uncle-in-law, whatever. So because he's gonna get very sick. That's what God told me. And my mom kept walking away, and he was calling her by her name. He was like, just don't walk away from him. You know what I mean? Like, and God brought me back. But before then, he brought me back. He was showing me how my mom and sister were always griping at my fiance, just going at her all the time. I remember being there. I remember the doctor doing it, but he can't do that in real life. But um, but after that, there was this lady. There was this lady. She was on top of me. She was just tearing out my throat. She was just, you know what I mean. She was really angry. She was just like, I mean, her eyes were just black as black.
hmm
Um, to me, demons and evil things are the people in your life that they try to what do you call it? That they try to make your loved ones look bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
Right.
try to mimic them. You know,
Yeah.
and it was mean. I mean, I remember one time I woke up in the bathroom. I feel like I had my laptop, but I didn't. Remember, ooh, um, my laptop didn't go to sleep for some reason. Okay, so I remember I was laying there, and like I remember laying there in bed. There was this red light there next to me, and a helicopter over the building just flew the building, and everybody was evacuating. Everybody was. Well, let me
wow.
tell you about this one. My um my fiance told me that it's weird. I was asking her for help, saying that, hey, I need help. I feel trapped. Like I feel
hmm
trapped, and it kind of resonates with that one. So I feel kind of trapped, and I tried to
Yeah.
press that red button, and no one came. So
Right.
then I went from that scenario. I was laying back, and then everybody was throwing trash on me. Boom, 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 boom. And then so that scenario, I was felt lonely. I felt despair. I felt like no one loved me. I felt like that was it. I mean, I gave up. That's it. I was done. It's the feeling of everybody seeing you, but you're not there. You know what I mean?
hmm
They know you're there, but it's just in life. That's how I was treated. That's how I'm still treated.
Just think
And
how spirits. Just think how spirits are that is permanently past what they're going, what they're
Yeah.
going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Well,
gives
I'll
a
tell
bit
you
of
this.
perspective.
Imagine, sorry. Imagine standing there. Here's how I feel. How I felt. Standing there, moving. You can't move. You're going like real slow, but your body's going up forwards like 100
Right.
miles an hour. Your
Hmm.
legs are still right, and
Uh-huh.
whatever you say, it's like, you know what I mean. You can't talk because you're
Yeah.
using your telepathy to contact your spirit box. That's why it doesn't come
Hmm.
out clearly, you
Right.
know. And I remember like my legs staying still, but my whole body was going like 100 miles an hour. You know what I mean? Like it was just like going forwards.
Uh-huh.
You know what I
But
mean?
what you've
Like,
got to remember as well is your soul, your spirit
see,
is physically connected still to your living body,
yes,
where a
yeah,
lot of these
Yeah.
spirits and
yeah,
souls are not connected. Once you do
Hmm.
that, that's when they start to learn to use their legs, their arms, and to be able to move things and do whatever. You're not in that process because they hadn't decided what they were going to do with you at that time. That's why you're
yes,
there. You're fighting
yes,
to either live or to go over. So you're not fully disconnected from your body. So you're feeling it from the perspective of your spirit body and your physical body because you're so connected still. That's why you were feeling all these influences and all these weird things to your body because your body's still fighting and reacting to the fact that you are still living even though you're
Yeah.
supposed to be dead.
yeah.
You're still connected. You know what I mean? So
Have you seen any visions from you came home?
Huh? Excuse me.
Have you had any visions from you came home from the hospital?
No, I mean they're just like a memory to me, basically.
Right.
Like it's like being in the back of a van. I remember a big nail stuck in my foot when I was gone. You know, I remember
Right.
being thrown in like in a big industrial building, and then no one saved me. You know what I mean? Like and hold on a second, okay?
so when you're saying that you felt a nail in your foot, was it put in your foot or did you stand on
It
it?
was in my foot.
It was
Hold on,
put
give me a
Within,
in.
second.
okay, he
I'll
said,
be back.
okay. Oh,
Crazy.
that's very, very interesting because it almost sounds like when he passed, and since he wasn't ready for his God to take him, for him to pass, it almost sounds like the evil stepped in and tried to cause so much despair that he wouldn't want to come back.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
where
Try to put
he
his
was
loved
gonna,
ones
yeah,
against them.
Well,
yeah,
that's the
Yeah.
whole point of it. It's the fight because obviously anybody that dies, yes, like when we say it's just somebody either passes or somebody survives you, but you don't realise the fight that they're going through at that time is the fighting against the wanting to stay here and the fighting against the things that are trying to keep you in the spiritual realm. You're
hmm,
fighting against both, and they're giving you the good and
right,
bad in your world and in
See,
your
this is
future as well, trying to the negative more and negative energies. I
yeah, because
don't
they're
like to
just
call
showing
them
him the
negative energies.
worst.
They're not negative
Yep.
energies. They're trying trickster
yes,
energies. That's what
Hmm.
they are. They're tricking you. They're tricking
yes,
you into believing things. And have you
yes.
got the capability to see through that and keep going forward? That is the whole point of this. It's like a film.
And I
You're
remember being
walking
tied
through.
down, but in reality, they had me tied down because some people they take out their vents. That's the reason why they
Yeah.
had me
Right.
tied. In reality,
When you
you know.
when you was over there, like you say that you see like other energies around you, you could hear people shouting and screaming, and you was having all these different visitations to different places. Did you ever like come across any of the energies and feel like you knew
I could
them,
just
even though you hadn't seen them in this life? Did you feel like you knew some of the energies?
no. Some of them died. Like no, it's just a quick because you're going down a tunnel, like basically. But
The
you
reason
just
I'm asking this because if you'd have noticed any of the faces, like you wouldn't have
no.
known them from this time, but you somehow resembled them in any of the visitations you've gone through, then it could even more link to your past lives. If you notice and realise faces you don't know in this world.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to point that through. So it's not
Right.
quite at that stage if he knows his past life premonitions, but to me, it does sound like that. And he's not quite at that stage yet where he knows what his past lives were and who he knew. so he wouldn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, they've not fully revealed it.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
I kind of like put you. Remember when I had that nail in my foot? It was sort of like God telling me, "I died for your sins." You know what I mean? Because I had the little thing in my in the foot and everything. I don't know. If, I was thinking about that, and I was also thinking like when I got out of hospital, I was still in the delirium when I got out. And I remember like, oh my God, I seen this guy like, he was like, I swear I could see him like he was just he was like a snake of a person, trying to get a hold of my attention and say that he was there. And I was just like, I'm not gonna talk to that guy. No.
yeah, well, that's because you had that instinct to know not to. But that's the
Yeah,
thing. That's what you need to be able to grasp when you're over in those places, because some of the energies that you have come towards you are not there for good intention. They are there
yeah,
to take you off your path
yeah.
and make
Mm.
you
Oh
where
no, there
you're
was this.
going. So,
I was in this elevator, went down, and there
yeah,
was, and I was, where hang the meats up and everything, and I was there, but it was bodies instead of meats, it
Meat.
was
Wow.
bodies, and so this guy, this demon looking thing, he was going, he was like, oh, I know where you're gonna go, and I'm just like, what the hell, like you're thinking, like what the fuck, I was like, I'm out of here, like that's it, I'm done. It was just I mean, I remember being in a room full of Nazis, like Nazis or whatever, but they were dressed like Nazis. They're on those old computers they had, and I kind of researched those old computers they used to use, and they're the same ones they use under the bunkers. You
Really?
know, and then this lady,
See,
she was
that
on
could
the
be a past life easy.
That's true. There was this
exactly.
lady
Yeah,
there with a kid, and it was a dingy looking freaking damn um underground thingy, whatever. It was, yeah. So
Like a
there's a
tunnel,
window and everything
underground
else.
tunnels, bunkers.
Yeah, bunkers.
So,
So, um,
My
I
phone's
was
at 2%. If it goes off, I'll try my hardest to come in on my computer. Okay?
okay,
okay, sis.
okay.
okay. So,
Say the new.
so then this lady goes with the kid. She goes, "You're not supposed to be here." So I took off. You know, it it just changing me from one place to another. So then I wake up. Before I wake up, I'm sitting there, and there was this arm thing or whatever, and it was trying to catch my shirt. And all I say, and then I see my family members going a different place because they had told me to go to somewhere else because they couldn't open the door. It was latched. This is when I was gone. This is when I was dead
Hmm.
still. And I remember getting up. Well, I use the bathroom myself, but it's embarrassing. But just and so then all of a sudden I wake up. You know, um, I wake up and I remember the doctors were like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! You're at 15% of life. You wake up." Like I mean, and then that's when um, I wake up and okay, I see my mom and everything. I couldn't talk to my trait. I didn't know about that. It was three little plastic things they put in there in your throat.
Eli, how long has it been before you came out of hospital?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's still struggle. I still struggle a lot, like because every time I walk, my knee goes in, like it
Right.
sinks instead of relaxing. I still go to physical therapy. I'm still looking for one more because my insurance, like, they're kind of weird how they accept my insurance, but they don't. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to walk. I'm walking with one cane, but when I'm out, walking two because my knee keeps on going in. Every time I walk, it doesn't relax when
Do
you
you feel
walk.
as if you've got any more gifts now, such as hearing the spirits, maybe feeling them a bit more? Do you feel as if you've got gifts because of what you went through?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is that way?
Do you feel as if you've got gifts now because of
I
what you
do.
went through?
I do. It was kind of funny. Yesterday, I was in the bathroom, and I was just I was cleaning and everything, and I was like, I put my hand, I put myself up like that, like the on the it was really short my bathroom, counter and stuff, and I thought I was like, okay, then I was like, spirits, can you turn? Because it was a little bit going. I was like,
Huh?
can you turn it up? I did not see the things move. The
Right?
little thingy,
Knobs. Yeah.
I
Oh,
just see the water go faster, and then it went lightly.
Ah,
ah,
The same time I did that, I came in the room. We're about to sleep. Me and my fiance were about to go to sleep, and she goes, guess what happened? She goes, because I have it on Travel Channel all the time. The ghost weird shit. You know what I mean? Like,
It hasn't even YouTube constantly,
Yeah.
whatever
so
room
it
I'm in.
changed. She was watching Lifetime, and it changed to that, and she was nowhere near the remotes. No one's near TV, and it changed to Travel
Wow.
Channel. I was like, shit. I
Spirits are
was
looking after you.
like, it was weird. Like, yeah, man.
So when your dog passed away, do you feel that you
Yeah.
felt that more
There's a
because
lot
you
of
were
times he used to sit on my chest before he passed away. We didn't know that he was really sick, so
right,
um, he used to sit on my chest, and I knew he was hurting. So he passed away because of pain, and they gave him
right,
medicine that maybe kind of like damaged more, you
right,
know.
uh-huh.
And so sometimes in my dream, I could hear him. I could feel the heaviness. I could feel his
Mhm.
breath, and man, I don't complain about that,
Yeah, of course not.
Do you practice speaking to spirits now that all of this has happened?
No, I try not to think about it. It's more like try to build on recovery, because I'm in just like with my um a little bit like brain fog and a little bit this
Do
and
you have
that.
crystals and things, Eli? Do you work with crystals?
It feels like I'm tired all the time,
I think you need a couple of crystals, to be honest. I think you
yeah,
need some crystals around you.
Just
yeah,
to bound
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm
You have
permanently
to have some
disabled, so
sort of
yeah,
Clear quartz is good for that.
stableness and
yeah.
clearness to be able to understand your abilities and stuff. That's why it might feel so much for you at the minute and a bit too much because
I mean,
you're not quite
it
Yeah.
drains.
understanding them yet.
I
It
get
drains
some
me.
clear quartz for your head fog.
Ground
Well,
yourself, ground
it's
into
gotten
it.
better, to be honest. It's more like forgetfulness sometimes.
Right.
Like if I'm about to check my bank and I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm checking my bank. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I mean, paying my bills and everything else, set up appointments, talk to insurance
Yeah, of
people.
course.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's nothing. That's easy.
But you can
It's
get like
just
little utensil
yeah,
things where you can
yeah,
put crystals in it and
yes,
put it
Yeah.
around your neck and not take it off. You can wear it in the
yeah,
shower as long as the crystal was waterproof.
yeah.
But
Christina, I'm sorry for
you have
interrupting you.
got things you can wear. It's not necessarily that you've got to stand there every time and start praying and doing whatever. Just having
Yeah, I
some
would just wear
spiritual
it.
body.
Uh-huh.
As long as you
Yeah,
charge it
because
and you make sure you look
yeah,
after it and that, it'll do it for you.
I was thinking about the
Yeah.
crystals because it's just like
They're really
you know,
important. Crystals are
Yeah.
natural elements
yeah.
of the planet. They're the most protective thing you could have on you, are your
Yeah, I would
crystals.
definitely get some clear
Definitely.
quartz, Eli. Maybe
Eli,
Yeah.
even look into some oils.
Yeah.
there's a question here for you. It
Oh
says,
yeah. Yeah. My fiance goes to me. I was like, "How does the closet feel?" She senses and spirits and stuff like that. She's sensitive too, and she goes, "It feels hot in there."
Oh,
Because sometimes when I used to go get like soda in the closet and stuff, because the kids like taking them, so I don't put them out there. So I, so then I went in there. My soda's always cold. It's always cold. I don't have to have a freezer. So then I go in there, it's hot now. And I'm like, damn it, Christina, I missed my damn fucking freezer. She goes, it's hot in there now. Like an actual closet. It's
yeah.
hot now.
right,
Because
right.
there used to be always a smell, there used to always be, a cold breeze. And, you know,
Yeah.
now it's gone, I think. So, except the little things that happen with the TV and the thing, I was just like, shit.
Do you do you
And
feel the
lots more. Get rid of them all.
do you,
But
do
seriously,
you
there's like, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna ask, do you feel the energy around you has changed since then? Like if you're in the store, do you feel like, oh, that energy is like horrible, I need to move away from it because you had so many bad experiences from bad energy when you
Yeah.
had passed? Do you feel that now?
Well, when here's one thing, and I get this from everybody too, like people that talk about past their when they died and everything. Um, God has taken away sort of like how you get afraid when someone scares you, but it's more like
Yeah.
God took that fear away, of it of like that. He took it away from you, and to me it's more like I can't be around that person. Like, something up. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am right now. There's time. It's just like I was watching a movie today early in the morning before I came on here, and I knew what they were gonna say. Weird. I knew what they were gonna say
Oh,
before they say
okay.
it, and I'd never seen the movie. I mean, I knew the words they were gonna say. Like I could know like who's coming. Because one morning I was sitting here, and I was waiting. I was just like, okay, someone's coming around that corner. Like I could sense things. Like it's just like when you guys, if you guys bring up Bigfoot or aliens, you know what I mean? Like I mean, I could tell you that, they're from a co-star or whatever. It's weird. I mean, I just know, it's just a knowing of things, Can't tell you what star, but yeah, but still, like certain things I cannot say. But I sort of
Yeah.
like it's like there's this thing on this earth, right? There's this thing on the earth. Oh, it's sort of
Welcome
like,
back, Drew.
hey, welcome back. Okay, there's this one thing on this earth that's always been here, more way before man. Okay, my laptop will shut off a minute. Okay, so there's this thing on here, but it can it can hurt people. You know what I mean? Like, and this thing, it has never been alive. And so I was shown this one. It's weird. It
Hey,
showed this one.
Iron.
It showed this one guy. He passed on, and he got stuck before he reached heaven. He got stuck in his environment somehow.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I remember seeing that. It was creepy.
See, I always feel like we weren't the first ones here, that we were brought here
Yes.
by something that's already been here for a whole long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so did you cross any of like that stuff from maybe a previous life, or that you felt might have been?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You know. I may just maybe. I don't know. I
Still
mean,
trying to place it all together, Eli, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I guess a lot to
Yeah.
Well,
take in.
it is a big
it's
journey.
draining. It's like a
You don't
spirit box.
understand it.
It's sort of like draining. It's like wait a minute. Let me think about that.
Have you
You know
ever
what I mean?
thought about doing the pendulum or something to get answers? Maybe doing the
I
pendulum
don't know.
or
It was kind of weird. I'll show you a picture later. Like my fiance has this little thing. You put it on walls, tapestries on the
yes, I
wall.
know what you mean.
And remember, I was telling you about I went to this farmhouse and I seen the workers go out and everything. Now
Yeah.
and I seen the fields and the house, and on this tapestry she has a farm, and in the back it's like horses and everything. That's the same farm that my fiance has on that tapestry.
Wow.
And I
See,
never
that's
told her.
part. Well, that's part. That's wow.
And she's had it since forever. It's the first time I seen it. She moved here. I told
Eli,
her,
I would try and get yourself some clear quartz. Maybe even meditate if you
yeah,
can meditate, try and meditate on it. And I think you would have a lot clearer answers maybe at the end of it.
yeah.
Just go
Well,
meditation music and try. Maybe it'll help you come
thinking
to
about
terms
that.
what was real and what wasn't. You know?
Well, I think about these. I try not to think about it. I mean, there's times when I don't even think about it. I'm just like this. It was funny. Like I got back and remember I was telling you about I was at a dance hall or whatever, and I was throwing my braces up there. I remember
Yeah.
when I got home, and I seen because I have foot drop, where your feet don't go up, and they're kind of
Right.
like these little insoles, with plastic insoles, where you
Yeah.
walk and everything. So I told my daughter, I was like, "Where did you get these? Were they at this dance hall or whatever?" Like, no, the hospital gave it to us. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right.
Yes, sis.
Huh.
I was going to say that actually, like
Like your
taurmaline,
memory,
that's really
like
good to keep anything negative away. Same as
Yeah.
hematite, but that's also a really good protective crystal. Sertraline as well. The white crystal's
Do
really
the
good
right one.
as well. That
Yeah.
definitely.
So I'm trying. I mean, that it doesn't bug me no more. Like I still have my nightmares because of it, of what
Yeah.
happened. Um, man, there's a lot more. It's more about feelings, like more about just like
So,
Have
so
you
when
ever
you were
thought about writing it all down? Getting a diary and actually writing it all down, and then you can go back over it through time, and then
there's
maybe you'll put it together more.
there's certain things that I don't know, like I was thrown in the cell, and I was smelling all this
Right.
nastiness and all this stuff around. It blocked it somehow. Something like stopped it when I was walking out. Something
Right.
just like like
But
that.
energies can
That
have
was
the
disturbing.
capability to make you forget certain things.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
maybe by you doing what Sister Drew says, maybe like writing it down each time, like, because then when you go back over it, you might notice that each time you're writing something new, there's a little bit added to it. So you'll
yeah,
start seeing the picture maybe coming out more.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, they are trying to tell you something, but you've got to really look for it to see what they're trying to say
yeah.
to you. Do you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
feel as
So,
if they've been showing you past lives and maybe even future lives as well,
Well,
Mhm.
or
I'll tell you that
scenarios that comes up in your life.
there was this. Yeah, that's true. I know that for sure.
So
Um,
Eli, since all of that bad stuff happened when you were under, and like things like that your mom did, or your fiance or girlfriend or whatever did, or anybody that you knew that was very cruel to you and doing all this stuff and saying this stuff when you were under, which wasn't true, but the darkness was trying to take over your mind. Do you feel now that you're back? Do you feel like there's kind of a little bit of a void there on the trust that you had
well,
with these people?
with my mom and my sister, like I mean, how God was showing me what they were like if they could get away with murder, or they can get
Right.
away with theft, or they can get away with it. Like
Right.
I was shown the evil part of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of people. Now I can know when they want something other than when they really need it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. So see,
You
that's what I'm saying. Do you feel now that a difference
Yes,
in them?
yes,
Right.
Okay.
yes. I mean,
So see, with that, with the way that you can feel with that now, Eli, you probably don't realize it, but the way, okay, like Drew, when she's doing like investigations, she can feel something.
Yeah.
Me and
mm,
Sherry can actually see something. So I think you're falling in that realm where now you can feel the difference in a soul or a
yeah,
spirit, from before and the after, now that you're in the knowing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Is there
did.
anything you're struggling with, Eli, about it all that you need actual help behind the scenes?
A lot.
A lot.
uh, a lot. I mean, it's mainly just um I don't know. I mean, I never thought about it. I never got to grieve over my own death, but
Right.
I don't know. It's more like what is was it? Like you told me earlier. What does that all mean? Is it
Yes.
just is it just my purgatory? Perverse, how you say it? Is it that, or is it some of them are going to come true, or I'm going
I
to meet
feel
these
as if they've been
people?
showing you some past lives and maybe future lives and future events so that
Probably.
you're more awakened to help people. Because as you said, you have been talking to paranormal investigators for a while, the same as we
Yeah.
all do. So maybe you have to start using what they've showed you to help people.
Yeah.
It will reveal itself to you if you meditate and things. You
Yeah.
will get the answers.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It
True.
might not
Definitely
felt
for a
like
reason.
torture, but
What do you
it
two
is a
ladies feel?
teaching.
Do you feel as if it's something that we can help them with to awaken
Oh yeah.
more or come to
I
terms with
think
it?
I feel like I'm destined for something else. I don't know yet. Like, I
That'll
mean,
come.
yeah.
That'll
I mean,
reveal.
I think the first stage that he needs is to come to terms with that he died and to come to terms with what he was shown.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then the second part would be, even you don't have to sit down on your own, Eli. There are people like us here that can actually help you and talk to you. Like, even if you just want to open up and we try and put together what you're saying, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Well, see,
you really
that's
do need
what.
to come to terms with what you're being
Yeah.
shown, because even though
Yeah.
it wasn't all nice for you and you maybe feel rather scarred by some of the things you've got to see, what you've got to
Yeah.
remember is everything you witness and see in life is a lesson and a message.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh
there
yeah.
is something in that they're trying to tell you. So you've got to see past that. and
Yeah.
what happened. You've got to see that
Yeah,
they're
for
so
sure.
bigger
Yeah,
from that picture.
yeah.
Just
It's
like the
not,
part
You
that
know,
you were saying about the bathroom, that you needed to be wiped and stuff. But just if you think about it, a human, the worst thing that they want to do is be very vulnerable and have to depend on someone else
yeah,
because they're not able to
Yeah.
do it. That was almost putting you in that vulnerable stage, you
yeah,
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like each part that you're describing is a part of something that was like kind of implanted in you so that you can learn from it.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
what
Um,
it's really done is it's done that to make you stronger and to
yeah.
make you see differently,
It is,
and
and
that
you
not
know what? Like
everything's quite what it seems.
how I feel, I feel like other people think different. You know, they call it long COVID or all that. You know, I honestly think that it's my new start. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I am who I am. I'm not going to get depressed over it. I don't get depressed over it. It is what
No,
it
don't.
is.
Yeah.
You know.
It's your
Um,
Because
path now.
if you want changes, it's got to come from you, nobody
yeah,
else.
not from
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
else. Like, I mean, people are just like, oh my god, I need help. Well, I mean, just figure out
It's
how it can fix you. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's hard. But it's all what it's all what how you can. It's like it's like riding a bike. You know what I mean? You have to control the bike so
Yeah.
you can be steady on it. You can't just be like, hey mom, hold this for me, or you'll never ride it, right? So I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
you have to control your life and be like, what's my next step I can do to control what's happening and my feelings towards
Well,
it.
Mhm.
I think your next step's just to look into yourself,
Yeah,
Grieve
just
over
in
your
what you've
over dying.
experienced and what
Yeah.
you've seen, and
yeah,
to build on that and work on that, because I do believe that through your death experience and what you went through, they were truly opening you and
yeah,
making you
Yeah.
ready, and you've just got to
Yeah.
learn how to deal with that now.
exactly.
So
Because
I really
most
do
people,
feel as if you'll find more people like yourself who's wanting to talk about it,
Yeah,
and
it
maybe
is. I
through
mean,
everybody talking, you'll come to some sort of understanding about it. I mean, it sounds as if you're trying to really understand what
I mean,
happened.
it's. I like talking about it because,
Yeah.
like, instead of building it on side of you, like, it's like, it's like when I came back in my body, I was hurting. I remember I couldn't even lift my head from the pillow. I couldn't even get myself up. I couldn't even stand up without my right leg. Couldn't even get up at all out of the chair they had me on. Like
Yeah.
now I can do it. I'm independent. I can do more stuff now. But at the same time, it was horrible. It was like, yeah. I mean, I
There's so
never,
many people out there, Eli, that is in the same situation as yourself. You just haven't met them yet. So maybe that's what your purpose is to find them and help them.
yeah, that's true.
it does help when you have talks like this and you speak about it, because if there are people watching it that maybe have had the
Yeah.
same experience, it'll probably make them less scared about talking about it themselves.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I see life now. It doesn't nothing bugs me. Nothing being like, oh, you're stressing me. Some person stressing me out, and I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
I mean,
died. Go away.
yeah, yeah. Some people just like they sweat over the small peanut
Yes.
sweat, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I can, whatever, go leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I got better things to do than worry about
Exactly.
you.
hmm
You're a grown ass fucking person.
because
So,
see, you were taught now that life isn't just roses.
yep,
So why argue and fight over the little bitty things when you know there's a whole lot worse stuff going on in the world, and it's like I'm
Yeah.
not wasting my time on that little piddly stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I feel like that too. Like, it's like I don't sweat over it. I mean, yeah, it needs to be done. There's certain things that like bills and everything else, and talking to
Yeah.
insurances and everything. I mean, yeah, you have to stress about that because you need that stuff. You need the doctor stuff to, like, um,
Yeah.
to get where you gotta go. And what the most messed up thing about it is like, like it's basically like you're fully disabled now. Like, but I don't think about it. me, I mean, I'm the kind of person where I'm a strong person, and I can maybe pretend that I'm not, sort of way that disabled. I
Yeah.
mean, I can make it maybe make it look a little bit okay. You know, mean, like I could pass by where I'm not, but I know I am. You know,
Yeah.
I don't sit there and give up on myself or feel
No,
down
don't
about
do
feel
that.
down on myself. I'm sort of like, like, oh, I can
Welcome
pretend.
in, everybody.
Welcome in,
Okay.
everybody. You missed a lot, but yeah.
You've
But
got a big heart, Eli. Honestly, you've got a big, kind heart. And I do feel as if you'll get the answers that you're looking for.
oh,
I
I
really
will.
do feel that. And I
Oh, I
feel as
will.
if it's
Search
for a
within.
purpose. It's definitely a purpose that you've been called for.
Yeah,
Search within.
yeah,
It's there.
yeah,
Like
Meditate.
Sister Drew said,
Get a
write
crystal.
everything down.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
each time, like you might sit there and think, I'm not getting anything, but you might read something back and go, hang on a minute, that weren't in that bit. So that's something extra and that's something extra.
Yeah.
And it'll give you some sort of inkling. You may not suss everything out, but you'll have more of a picture and an understanding which can help you to move forward.
yeah.
Are you
Exactly.
still getting, are you still remembering experiences that happened to you? Is you remembering things every other day? Or have you thought you've remembered everything? Or are
I'm
you
sorry.
still getting things?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Are you still remembering visions and things that you had?
Like what? Like clothing and stuff like
Like,
that.
say, oh, that's remember. I remember I seen that as well. Is things still coming to you that you experienced?
Yeah, like, oh, when I passed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
like I tell. I don't think about it anymore. But
Right.
when like it's sort of like voices and stuff like that. Yeah, like sort of like if there's like a lot of people screaming on TV, like it reminds me of a certain time when I did pass and I did hear those
Right.
voices.
Yeah.
Sort of like I was telling you.
But do
And
you think that maybe you're trying to step away a little bit because it's worried you? Because like
yeah,
in my characteristic, like you get a lot of people that come and go, yeah, well, I don't really think about it anymore, I don't really want to look into it. But if you're sitting
Yeah.
there and you're talking about it on a stream, it's still
yeah,
there, it's
yeah,
still in your soul,
yeah,
you still have that knowing and that wanting, even though you don't
yes,
realize you're doing it. Because
yes,
if
I
you
agree.
weren't bothered about what happened to you,
Yes,
you would not be talking about it. So
yeah.
you do
Eli,
want to
does
know,
it?
you just don't realize it.
Eli, does a person behind you need to get your attention for a minute? It's okay if they need to
She's
ask you
right
something.
here. Yeah, hold on, give me a second. She's not used to the camera, so
That's okay. Welcome
I
in,
feel,
everybody. Please remember and smash that like button and also share out. It does help with algorithms. Thank you, guys. We're trying to get
yeah,
Mystical Love and Light up to our 3,000 watch hours. So
yeah,
remember and
because
yeah,
play our
that
videos,
they
guys, please. But
and I'm
all
happy
helps,
about
all love.
that. I still can't get actually monetized to like make money off videos until I hit
Yeah,
4,000 or the 1,000. But it opens up some of the stuff, and one of them I'm happy about is the store that I can get that
yes,
Yes.
store open.
yeah.
Okay, sorry, Eli. You good now?
yeah. I'm good.
Okay.
I
So
just
yeah, I
squeeze
Have
do
in.
you
think
got
I do
supportive
think that.
people around you that let you talk about it? Is there
Oh
people in
yeah,
your everyday life let you talk about what happened?
I do. Like my fiance, she supports me in it, but it's just like there's certain things like I told you, I have nightmares, and
Yeah,
of certain things, and where you know it's like when I wake up and have a nightmare, it feels like they're real, but they're not. It takes like a
yeah.
couple minutes to like shake myself away, away from
Once you find the path that you're meant to be on, though, the nightmares may stop. It may
yeah,
be because you're not actually on your proper path yet that
yeah,
you're getting
yeah,
all this, you know?
Stevie had
Yeah,
a good thing here too, because he says, "Yeah, keep your soul straight." That's a
yeah,
very good thing because you have to make sure you separate. Okay, that was when I passed. Now I'm alive. Now somewhere in there, like okay, Drew said, you like some are past lives, but somewhere in there, some of those probably hasn't even come to light yet. And
yeah,
so you have to keep them separate so when they do happen, you know what's what.
yeah. I was reading what Firehouse said. Fire, Fire
Iron
Horse.
Firehouse Horse, yeah.
Yeah,
Which one? This one
yeah,
here?
second one. That one too, but second one.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't scare me like to think about it, but it's sort of just like you know, sometimes it creeps up
Yeah.
on me thinking, well, don't fuck up on that, or don't do certain things like that, or such and such.
Eli
I
will
mean,
always give you a platform to talk about it as well. If you
thank
ever
you.
want to, if you ever feel that you're struggling with something you remembered or anything,
Yeah.
always just get in contact with one of us and we can talk it through. It's no problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whether we're
because even
live or
though
whether
you,
we're not live.
yeah, and even because you've told us, you were in there a month, so I realize you just told us a small portion, so
Yeah.
we're happy, very happy to get you back again, and then
Okay.
you can tell more because you'll be remembering more too as time
Yeah.
goes on,
Oh yeah.
and we won't keep cutting you off and asking you all of these questions that
No,
we're
no, you're
curious
good.
about,
You're good.
and yeah, so. If does anybody have any questions or anything for Eli? Because we'll be
So,
cutting this because it's already 5,
hmm,
6, 7, 8,
I
9,
got
ten
one.
37 in Scotland. Is that right? Eli, where
Yeah,
you
quick
at?
to
You're
11
in
in
I'm in
Scotland.
Texas?
I'm in Texas. It's 4:37.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have two boys that's in like Arlington
Oh
in
wow.
area in
Right.
there, and then one in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
So
All I'm saying is just be right by God, or y'all's whatever you guys believe in. Just be right. I'm in like this. It's not. I'm not gonna throw the
That's it,
Bible at anyone.
Eli. Yeah.
I go by my creator
Yeah,
because
creator.
Yeah.
even though a lot of people use the word God, okay, say if I use the word God, it may be different than your God, Eli,
Yeah.
it may be different than Sherry's, it
Yeah.
may be
Yeah.
different than Drew's. So I say
Yeah.
my creator because that's my belief,
Hmm.
on how my thinking is, but we don't judge anybody. Everybody has their own, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes. Yes.
And so we're going to go ahead and cut it short if nobody has any question. Well, it's not short, it's been an hour and 37
Yeah.
minutes. But
Yeah.
we would be happy to get you back again and
Okay.
talk about
We'll keep
more
talking,
whenever you're
Eli.
ready because we're
Yeah.
usually on over here on Tuesdays anyway. So,
Like I said,
Yeah.
just trust yourself and look
Like I
within
say,
yourself and just
there's
take it
mo-
step by step.
yeah,
You'll
there's
get
much
there in the
more.
end.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Using meditation and stuff would be really good. That'll help
I
you
think
to
you
like
should,
settle it.
yeah. It'll help you a lot to
yeah.
come to terms with it.
And getting your crystals. You definitely need
Right.
your crystals.
I will. All right, guys. Catch
Okay.
you later.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye. And bye,
Bye bye,
everybody.
Eli.
Thank you,
Nice to
everybody,
speak to
for
you. Bye bye,
coming in.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Blessings, everybody. Bye for now.
Mary